Hello friends, and welcome to a super special spooky vlog. Today is currently Sunday, September 24th, and it is finally that time of night where we are going to leave Disney property and head to Universal. We're cheating a little bit, but it's for a good reason because we are going to Halloween Horror Nights. We are just waiting for our Uber to arrive, but this is our very first time attending Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. We have attended before out in Hollywood in California, but that was back in 2018 or 2017, I want to say. So we are long overdue for another visit. My dad has been wanting to go to this for ever. He would go every single year if he had the chance. He's shaking his head. So I'm finally glad that we have the chance to go tonight. We really have no set plan upon entering the park. We do have the express pass for the night, but only the one time through express pass. If it means that we don't have to wait in any lines, then it's a win for us. I know there's some specialty food items that we would also like to check out on top of some of the rides being open. We didn't know how many rides were going to be opened, but I'll pop a little list on the screen. Who knows, we might go on some of those. Like I said, we have no plan. It's going to take a hot second to get there, but I will spare you guys that part. I will just check back in when we get to Universal. Y'all, you can probably tell by the outrageous noise behind me, but we made it to Halloween Horror Nights. Our Uber ride here was super seamless. We took the back way, so we avoided all the traffic. We got here really quick for the distance that it was. We came to the gates, they let us in right away. There was no waiting at all. And if I were to compare this process to getting into Hollywood Horror Nights in California, this was seamless. This was so easy. My parents went to go find a map because we honestly have no idea where to go or what to do. There is just so much going on. We went ahead and already walked through a scare zone and we watched the Megan show. I couldn't get any video of it just because of the audio and where I was standing. It was great. It was amazing. If you've watched the Megan movie, you're fine. You're fine. Thank you. If you've watched the Megan movie before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll insert a picture here of what Megan is. So good. Once my parents get back, we are going to set a game plan and get this night going. As soon as it gets dark out, I know this sign is going to give, but for now, in the sunset, they changed it to say Mel's Die-In. I need to take a picture and set it as my lock screen. It is just too good. Update, we have no set plan and we're just gonna walk until we run into something and then we will figure out where we're at on the map because we are confused. Well, this sign says Universal Monsters Unmasked Haunted House is to the right, and it's the only one that way, so I guess let's go over there. Well, we just had to walk a mile to get to Monsters Unmasked. That was our first house for the night. We're gonna rate everything on a scale of 1 to 5. I'm sure my ratings will change by the end of the night because I'll give a top 3 at the end of this video. The beginning of that house was promising, the end was promising, the middle was a little lackluster, so to start, I'm going to give Monsters Unmasked a 3 out of 5. 3.
I hate to say the same thing, but I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 as well.
This was the one he was most excited for too.
It was the house that I really wanted to see, but I'm gonna guess that there's gonna be houses that get better.
One thing I'm going to add about Monsters Unmasked is keep in mind how long of a walk you have to get to the actual haunted house and coming back. It is very far off of property, so you will work up a sweat going there and coming back. The standby line that we walked by in the express lane was backed up almost all the way to the entrance. It said 60 minutes, but there's no way that line is 60 minutes. I don't know how long we walked, but I felt like I was on like a high school track. It was crazy. Hi, baby. Literally the only way to do this successfully is with the express pass. There are so many people here for it being a Sunday.
You are tired, or hungry, or scared. And good. That is how we felt under your fascist rule.
So we just got done with The Last of Us house. It is the video game that got turned into a show. I've watched the first few episodes, so I was at least familiar with everything that was going on within the house. Overall, I liked the theme, I liked the show idea, but I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 again. It wasn't anything over the top. It didn't really blow me away. All of the scares were like behind me, so I only got startled once, but it was pretty good seeing a show get put into a haunted house. Someone in the standby line beside us passed out. That just reiterates the point of me saying that it is very hot and you will get sweaty. So be sure to hydrate if you do come.
I had no idea what this was about. I never watched anything about it. I give it a 3 out of 5. I liked a couple of the scares masked, but
I did watch the show. I liked the show. The haunted house, after going through it, I'm probably going to be at that 3 range also. It didn't really put it over the top for me.
So now that we got those 2 houses done, we are going to walk the same exact route back through Springfield, walked by all the Simpsons rides to go to our next haunted house, which is over there. And I'm pretty sure that one's the Dr. Oddfellow one, but I'll keep y'all posted. We are definitely in line for the darkest deal. I haven't heard the best things about this one, so we will have to see how it goes. I'm going first. I am the chosen one. This is basically Universal's red card at Disney, if you know anything about what that means for the rides. Okay, so we just got done with the darkest deal. Out of the 3 we've done so far, that one has been my favorite. It was the shortest house we've been to, but the theming was great. There was a story behind the house that was easy to follow. The scare actors themselves had variety rather than just the same thing over and over. And it also smelled really good in there. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 for now.
I'm going to give that one a 4 out of 5. I like the characters a lot better. I thought the makeup was better, and it was just more believable, the storyline to me.
I give that one a 3.5 out of 5. I like the smell inside it. The people behind us scared all the time, which kind of made me on edge a little bit, but the actors got me a couple times and I jumped.
That one did take a little bit longer to get through because there was an incident in the house, so they had to pause all of the lines. So now we are outside of our next one already. I don't know what it is. Everything's just a mystery. You guys will see at the same time I will. Alright, so very fast before the show gets out, we need to keep moving, but we just did Dr. Oddfellows. If I am giving half ratings tonight, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. I'm holding out on my 5 until the end of the night so then I can like properly give you guys the rankings. Dr. Oddfellows was really good. The theme was great. The length was great. It was like if actual clowns decided to start killing people.
That was my favorite house so far. I will give it a 5.
I like this one the best. I'll give it a 4.5. I like the clowns and the oddities. Good vibe.
We have just entered Diagon's Alley. That scared me. It was cool in there, but there were too many like younger teenagers to really enjoy the experience as a whole. It would have been fun to walk around more and maybe grab a butterbeer, but we will have to save that for next time. I'm telling you, the vibe here is just so different than what I expected it to be. close to my face, but we just walked through Dr. Oddfellow's Scare Zone, and now we just stumbled upon the mascot of Halloween Horror Nights this year, Chucky's Haunted House. I've heard mixed things, but we'll have to see how it actually is. It's getting so much harder to recap these as the night goes on. I will have to do a breakdown when we get back to our hotel. We just got done with Chucky. Tentatively, I'm going to give it a 2 or 3 out of 5. I'll explain more on that later. This is future me hopping in here. I'm going to give Chucky a 2 out of 5. It's separated into 2 parts, which was pretty confusing because as soon as we got through the first one, I thought it was over, but then we went into the second half and it was just okay. I think the best scare in that house was like the very first one. There was a scare actor with like a giant Chucky mascot head on. I just thought it was really funny, but other than that, it just didn't really impress me for it trying to be the mascotted Halloween Horror Nights house for this season.
I love Chucky. However, the haunted house, I didn't love it as much, but I will give it a 3 out of 5 just because it is Chucky.
Chucky Haunted House, I watched the first movie when it originally came out. I haven't watched anything since. I was expecting more than what there was. Disappointed in it. 2.5. I agree the first part's the best when the giant Chucky comes out.
But right now, we just hopped in line for Yeti. I've heard a lot of mixed things on this one again, but I love everything to do with the Yeti, so we'll have to see if this holds up to the standard I'm putting it to. So we just did Yeti, and I will give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. The Yetis were fun, the scares were fun, the whole vibe of like Yetis taking over State Park and it killed the warden. It just made it that much better.
Yeti, I give a 4. I love Yetis.
Yeti, 2.5. I really didn't get a full glimpse of the Yetis that came out. I just always got to see the backside of them. It was cute, but yeah.
Now we are heading to hop in line for Dueling Dragons Choose Thy Fate, which at the end of this one, you literally choose fire or ice, meaning like every single person has a unique experience based on which direction they go. Alright, so we just went through the Stranger Things house. The wait wasn't too bad, but all of our feet are getting sore, so we just decided to take another little foot break. The house itself, it wasn't very scary in my opinion. It was really well produced. There were a lot of props that made it just like the TV show. Speaking of, I haven't finished watching the TV show yet, so it kind of spoiled the ending for it. The girls behind me were kind of making me mad because just how they were acting throughout the haunted house. Overall, I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
I liked Stranger Things. I watched the show. Went through the haunted house. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. It wasn't scary to me.
I watched all the series when they came out. I'll give it 4 out of 5 just because it looks exactly like the series. They did a really good job producing it. Overall, since this is one of the few that I've watched and I understood everything, that's why I give it a 4.
The crowds are really overwhelming. Even though we just have 2 houses left, we are going to skip them and just hit up the merchandise shop on the way out. I'm telling you, these crowds are something else. Y'all, I am exhausted. My body is. So I lied. Before I talk to y'all, my dad has a haul that he wants to show you what piece of merchandise he got, and then we are going to give our overall experience rating for the entire night. It's gonna include our likes, our dislikes, the houses, the people, the workers, everything as a whole on a 5-scale rating.
Top pick would be Stranger Things and Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. Favorite scare zone? I guess when you first walk in, the people coming at you with the chainsaws.
That was Dark Zodiac.
Dark Zodiac. There we go. Things I didn't like. There were too many people there. Literally, you would be in line with thousands of people for one of the attractions. Not used to that. I didn't prepare myself. I wore jeans instead of shorts. I don't know. I think they should have started earlier so then more people could get everything done that they wanted to do, because we didn't ride any rides. We just did all the haunted houses but 2. It would have been nice to have some extra time to look around and do some things. Overall, I think I liked Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights better than I liked Orlando. Maybe just 3. Right in the middle.
Favorite haunted houses? I'm gonna go with Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins.
Origins.
Whoops. Origins. And I think for number 2, I'll tell you, that's a really close one for me. It's really between Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate, and Yeti. I like both of them. I really like Yeti because I don't know why, I just like Yeti. Those would be really neck and neck for me. It's hard for me to pick between those 2. My favorite scare zone, probably surprise everybody that knows me well. I'm gonna go with Vamp 69 Summer of Blood. I really like that area. I thought it was really cool with the vamps just kind of walking around. And of course, I like the music. I love 70s music. The least favorite thing, they sell you this pass that you can skip the line, so to speak. However, it's not really skipping the line because you just get another line with 100 and some people. It's a little misleading. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. And it's not that I didn't like it, obviously.
He bought a trucker hat.
And I bought myself a trucker hat. Honk honk. Anyway, so I still had a good time. It's not that I didn't have a good time. Everybody should go to it, and you will enjoy it. Universal, you can do a lot better.
My top 2, I gotta pull out the map. My number 1 house for the night was Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. It's basically if clowns killed humans. It's very bloody, it's very gory, but it's also very fun because it's just a clown house, and that's literally the house that I work in back home. I have the same problem picking the number 2 spot for my top 2. It's either going to be Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate, which actually really surprised me, and Yeti Campground Kills. My number 1 scare zone has to be Dr. Oddfellow's collection of horrors. I know I'm liking a lot of Dr. Oddfellow's, but his collection of horrors throughout the scare zone was super fun to experience because you had things from the Salem's Lot vampire locked in a cage scaring people to these bats with the pig nose. I'll insert a picture here of what I'm talking about. On stilts, walking around, towering over people. It's literally a collection of the creepiest creatures from real life, from myths, from movies and TV shows, all combined. So there's something in there that everybody could love. My overall rating for this experience was a 3 out of 5. So we all collectively have the same opinion. It was okay, it was fun, glad we went, the houses were fun, but it could have been executed a lot better on Universal's end. So my quick thoughts. There were thousands of people. I'm a person who is fine with crowds, but this was getting to me. It was just too much, and it was a completely different vibe than I was thinking. There were like no families there. It was mainly just 20-year-olds or teenagers, you know, having a night out, but it just brings the experience down by so much when those groups are drunk, or those groups are acting unruly or doing things they're not supposed to do. It just kind of ruins and dampens the experience for everybody else. Like already mentioned, we had the Express Pass. Although the Express Pass has their own line, if you're paying for a Fast Pass and you're still waiting, you know, a good 20-30 minutes per house, and you're on a limited amount of time, there is no way that you can go through all 10 houses by the end of the night. We did end up doing more than if we were just in the standby Line, obviously, but the express pass wasn't really express. And because of that, we couldn't do other things throughout the park. We did walk through all the scare zones, but I would have loved to go back and revisit some of them. There were also loads of food trucks and food places available that had exclusive HHN food and drinks. I didn't get to try any of it. No one got to try any of it. They had a wide variety of HHN merch.
Hoodies, sweatshirts, long sleeves, t-shirts, shot glasses, like coffee cups, notebooks, trucker hats, plates, like a coffin trinket plate thing.
Like, they had everything HHN branded, and there were team members, as they're called, or managers of the store, constantly restocking and putting out merch in different sizes, at least in the stores that I saw. Even when we went into the final store, it was around 12:30 at night, and they were still bringing out new merch to restock the shelves. So as far as the merchandise game, they got that down packed. But these Universal team members, I'm sorry. I cannot do it. The security lady at the end of the night that was like by the Uber area, I'd say she was a little bit older than my age. Don't even get me started, honey. Absolutely not. I won't get into it because honey needs to find a new job that she enjoys. I cannot feel my arm. All in all, I am very glad that my parents and I had the opportunity to go to Halloween Horror Nights this year. It was a new experience for all of us, and although we didn't have the best time, we still gave it a solid 3 out of 5, and honestly, that's all that matters. Thank y'all so much as always for following along on this little nightly adventure. Now, if you have been following along on this series, the next vlog that will come out is a very exciting vlog. We have an Epcot reservation tomorrow morning, and we also have like a in-between lunch dinner reservation at a super special place that we have to go to every single time we come back to Disney. If you liked this spooky segment in this series, give a thumbs up and stay tuned by hitting the subscribe button down below because we are also headed to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in a few days. Well, a few vlogs for you. I hope y'all have the best spooky season anyone could wish for. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. We went ahead and... You're already... You're already standing up? My tummy's growling.
I know, I'm starved. I ate 3 Starburst in the car.
I heard you crinkling back there.
Couldn't help it. I needed something to eat.
You were starving her.
I couldn't eat anything because the frickin' stuff, everything had tree nuts in it. And when I tried to eat, they were out. No pretzel nuggets, no pretzels, no cinnamon pretzel nuggets. No.
Well, you get grilled cheese and tomato soup for our reservation. Before you go to bed, what time are we meeting?
Chill. Love you, 9 See you in the morning.
I don't care. Do you want me at 9 or later or earlier or what? 8:45, 9:15.
If I can walk tomorrow, I get out of bed. I get no hug. I get no hug. Love ya.
Love you.
Thanks for going to Halloween Horror Nights with me.
I always love going. Mom looks like she had a dreadful experience. My feet are flat. We're also filming this at 1:45 a.m. So if we sound a little delirious, that is why.